I'm sorry I lost my temper. It's very hot, isn't it? You know, Miss Iggleswaite, I've always thought this school very lucky to have such a distinguished scientist as yourself on its staff, and I see recently you've been engaged in a long correspondence in the columns of Nature.
Yes, they were kind enough to publish a paper of mine. Variations in chromosome numbers in sexual and asexual individuals among Pfifficae.
Which is?
Seaweeds.
I must say I envy you. I am afraid anything I were to write on history or civics would be unlikely to provoke such erudite correspondence.
The works of the Lord are great, sought out of them that have pleasure therein. Sought out. My father preached on that text the Sunday after the results of my finals came through.
He must have been very proud of you.
Yes, he wanted me to go on seeking out. He thought I had it in me to become a great scientist. And Professor Gelder, my tutor, he wanted me to stay and to go on doing research, but Church of England pays its clergymen very badly, and my father died in debt. Oh, it wasn't his fault. He wasn't a good businessman. Never meant to leave me to look after my mother and sister. Couldn't possibly have foreseen that my mother would contract rheumatoid arthritis and need constant attention, and that I'd have to face the problem of earning enough money for 3 people. Oh, well, it sounds rather self-pitying, doesn't it, when one talks about it? But there it is. One has to face facts.
And your mother and sister live?
Tunbridge Wells.
Have you never thought of trying to get a post in the south of England to be nearer them?
Oh, I didn't realise you were engaged.
Would you mind waiting outside, Miss Jameson? I won't be a moment.
Well, we've got our own to consider.
It's a pity. It would have solved such a big problem. Still, this term's nearly over, and there's the summer holiday before the next term starts. So perhaps you'd have a word with Mrs. Mitchell before then. It's helping one another, you know, that makes it easier to get through troubled times, Mr. Mitchell.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mrs. Beddoes, we could do with some help ourselves. You know, it's my job, you see, insurance. Well, the book only brings in 10 shilling a week, and the district office have given me a month to get more business. And, you know, it's just not there to be got. I don't know what we're going to do, and we've got nothing in the house, and 15 shilling in the post office, and my wife's going out of her mind with worry, Mrs. Beddoes, and quite honestly, I can't blame her.
You know, Miss Iggleswaite, as I go about this town and see all the rows and rows of small, neat houses, I often wonder about the lives of the women inside them. And I think of them adding accounts, making grocery lists, taking trays to invalids, washing babies, looking after the very young, the very old, the sick, the helpless, waiting for letters, mourning their dead. And I know that life can be very drab and very bitter. But then I think all the more reason why we must fortify our children. Give them knowledge, confidence, ambition. Arm them with weapons to fight the deadening monotony of life. I almost think the most important thing we can do is to challenge them, to make something better of their lives than their parents have done. I know in some cases that would take something like a miracle, but I have seen miracles work, Miss Iggleswaite, because with enthusiasm and self-confidence in teaching, almost anything can be done. So you will have a go at the science syllabus for Upper 4, won't you? And let me have it before the beginning of next term. Look upon it more as lightening your own load by spreading it over a longer period of time.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Don't hesitate to come to me if you need any help.
Well, I
would
would
you mind asking Miss Jameson to come in, please?
I know it must hurt your pride, having to go for public assistance, Mr. Mitchell, but you must pocket that until times take a turn for the better.
Very well, Mrs. Beddoes. That's what you think I should do.
It's the only thing to do. Goodbye now, Lydia.
Goodbye.
Don't worry, I'll be in touch.
Oh, shut up, can't you? Screech, screech, that's all you ever do all day.
It's Miss Parsons. She's quite insufferable. Apparently when she was sorting letters 2 days ago, there was one addressed to me which got separated into her lot, so she says. Of course, she may have her own reasons for holding up my letters. It's no trick, I believe, with these embittered, middle-aged spinsters.
Yes, Miss Jameson, I'm aware of your theories on middle age and virginity. I don't agree, but then I suppose we must all speak from our own experiences.
Well, when she had discovered it, 24 hours later, if you please, instead of bringing it to me and apologizing, she sends it back by the serving girl, who leaves it on the staff room table where it's covered in newspapers, so that I only find it this morning. Quite by chance. And too late. Well, it was making an appointment, and now I've missed it.
That was exasperating. Can't you telephone or wire?
Oh, what's the use now? It's too late.
Well, I'm sure nobody will be sorrier than Miss Parsons. She was obviously flurried and exhausted. I think we shall have to make allowances for her. She's had an awful term.
But that doesn't excuse her. And it doesn't give me back my lost appointment. Oh, she's a born muddler. It's all very well for you. You don't have to spend day after day in that staff room with her. Sigglesthwaite chirruping on one side, the parson groaning on the other. Oh, I shall be glad to get out of this teaching profession.
With pupils who don't want to come to school and teachers who don't want to teach, it's a wonder we achieve anything at all.
Some of us find fulfillment in other ways.
Yes, Miss Jameson. And I am aware of your own frustrations, but I will not allow your fiancé's delay in promotion a cause for upsetting half the staff. Time serving is something the teaching profession can do without.
I came to make a legitimate complaint.
Yes, well, you've made your complaint, and I shall look into it. Isn't it time you took your class before remove?